Welcome to this dramatic therapy monologue. Listen to this meditation with an open mind and heart. In between each part, focus on your breath. Start now by inhaling deeply through your nose and slowly exhaling through your mouth. Then gently turn your attention to the natural rhythms of your breath. I must admit something immediately. Trust has been difficult for me. Perhaps you know what I mean. I remember how, as a little girl, I would look at my parents' faces and believe that life would be good, predictable, safe. Frightening as it is, I permitted myself to hope for the warmth of their words, the certainty of their affection. Yet, as I grew, little cracks began to show in those faces. I noticed when they lied to each other. These were small lies, the sort that are meant to protect or perhaps postpone a row. But I saw them. I memorized the flutter in my mother's left eyebrow when she fibbed. Take another breath. Draw it from the deepest place your lungs can reach. I became vigilant, obsessed almost, with reading people. I would listen for the sound of intention behind every word. When I made my first best friend, I remember I trusted her the way you trust gravity. No question, no hesitation. Then one day, she laughed at me behind my back about my homemade shoes. I heard it. I felt a peculiar emptiness. I told myself I would never tell anyone about that shame, not even myself. Later, I learned to trust only when it benefited me. In school, I would show loyalty just long enough to pass a note for someone or finish a project as a team. After that, I detached. Trust became a transaction I handled sparingly, with the skill of a loan shark. I fell deeply in love only once. He told me he did not want children, but I thought if I loved him enough, he would change. He did not. I left. Every time I think about it, my heart pinches, as if to remind me of how foolish I was to trust that people change for love. Now breathe again. Let every memory float to the surface, even if it stings. My crisis is this. I do not just mistrust others. I mistrust myself. Somewhere along this winding road, my own heart became unreliable to me. I made promises to myself that I broke. I have woken in the dead of the night, sweat dampening my neck, revisiting the parade of decisions that led me into rooms I should not have entered, jobs that shrank my soul, relationships where I was less than I could have been. I ask myself, who are you to judge others for their betrayals? You have betrayed yourself too. There are nights I have stared into the shadowy ceiling, remembering a teenage me swearing she would never tolerate certain things, never become bitter or cynical, never settle. I am bitter sometimes. I am cynical. And without quite noticing, I have settled for a life smaller than I once dreamed, because it felt safer. Breathe. Let the air anchor you to now. My flaw is that I mistake suspicion for wisdom, and I wrap my pain in humor, present trust as a performance, never as vulnerability. I am terrified of disappointment, so I keep my hope small. Because if you expect little, you lose little, right? That is how I have protected myself, or so I believed. But what a wasteland that becomes. Can you feel it in your chest? That aching, hollow space that grows when trust no longer has root? When every voice in your head says, you cannot rely on them. You cannot rely on yourself. You cannot rely on life. The crisis is not that others have betrayed me. The crisis is that I live as if betrayal is inevitable, as if I am incapable of being chosen, cherished, forgiven, or trusted by myself. And so the world shrinks. The colors fade. Every day is a routine in avoiding risk. Now, take a long breath, longer. Let it move through you. I am tired, tired of the isolation, tired of bracing for disappointment. There is a longing inside me, and perhaps inside you too, for something softer, wiser, kinder. I am ready to look at trust differently, not as something childlike, a blind leap into someone's arms while yelling, "Catch me," but as a quiet sort of sturdiness, the kind that does not require naivety. This is what I have learned. I cannot promise I will never disappoint myself or others again. Life will let me down. I will let myself down sometimes. But trust can be a practice, not a guarantee. It can grow slowly, with eyes open. I can hold myself gently when I fail. I can allow others to surprise me, not because I refuse to see their flaws, but because I choose to believe in my ability to heal after the fall. Breathe that in. Now exhale doubt. Trust, after disillusionment, is not a return to innocence. It is the courage to risk connection again, with the full knowledge that pain may come. because living guarded against hurt is not living at all. I can forgive myself for believing, for hoping, even for hurting. Every disappointment has shaped me, but it has not unmade me. There is wisdom in the cracks, softness in the scars. So now, if you feel a trembling inside your ribs, let it be. It means your heart has survived. It means you have loved and lost and dared to trust, even if badly. Trust can mean steady, slow, breathing through discomfort, facing the world and yourself with open eyes, letting people in even as you fumble the words. I can rebuild, not on the fantasy of perfection, but on the truth that I am still here, worthy of trust, worthy of hope, even after it all. Thank you for listening to me and for listening to yourself. Take your final breath with intention. Feel your chest rise. Feel it fall. Know that you can begin again, wiser, softer, never naive, but still willing to trust, beginning now.